I'm Christopher Morton. I'm a co-founder and CEO of ELEM Biotech. To roll out virtual human twins and to make sure that we do this in a effective way, we need to count on all the stakeholders involved in health. That pretty much means everyone. So we need businesses, we need a company like ours doing technology and science in virtual humans, of course, the makers of therapies, but also every public sector body. So whether it's government, whether it's agencies, research centers, and of course, the last one is us, the people. We're very lucky with physics-based models because one of the aspects of mathematical modeling and simulation is that everything you do responds to behaviors that have been analyzed and calibrated. This effectively means that if you run a test, whether it's, reproduce a beating heart, start to measure quantities of interest like the electrocardiograms, pressures, whatever you have embedded in the model becomes directly reproducible. And because you can do this, if you change the inputs, if you change patient data, if you change whatever aspects of the model you change, the response will systematically be the same if you rerun over and over the simulations. So this is a little bit different actually to data-driven analysis, to classical AI solutions, where if you run it twice, because you have an element of uncertainty in the data, you would also have different answers. Not with physics-based AI, not with mechanistic models. They will systematically give you the same answers unless you introduce a random effect. Our company is focused on developing capabilities to run clinical trials using virtual human twins. What is extremely interesting when you approach companies is that at the beginning, companies and even when you approach medical bodies, because they're a primary stakeholder, of course, in what we do. The first aspect is that people want to know if you can validate, verify, and replicate what you do. Most of the effort that we spend as a company in the development of these technologies is seeking all the different possible ways that are available to make sure that what we do is as accurate as can be. But then the next stage is how you use it. Today, medicine is broadly empirical. Experience is what will give the possibility to the practitioners to make the best decision in the fastest possible time. Of course, that also leads to, unfortunately, what is often called actually in the UK, the postcode lottery, which is that depending where you live, you may have access to better care than not. If you start to encapsulate all the possible behaviors, medical knowledge into virtual human twin models, you will start to level out those differences. And then suddenly you also get to a point where being useful is more important than being absolutely accurate. Healthcare has to see a radical change. We have to change the way we do things. When we see how demand is increasing, when we see the strain on resources being doctors, of course, but also the facilities. We constantly hear that, there aren't enough beds in hospitals. We also constantly hear that they are part of the planet where access to good health services, medicines, treatment is not available. If we really want to evolve as a society, we have to address this. What we have started to see with the appearance of transformative technologies like virtual human twins, whether physics-based or classic AI, is a possibility for the first time, coupled also with massive computational power, to address some of these challenges on an unprecedented scale. We're talking earlier about the need to shift from empirical to scientific evidence. What these methods do is bring us closer to that final goal of being able to understand how the body really works, how it responds to treatments, how it responds to pathologies, and how we can better cure them. So it is absolutely key to count on modern technologies like virtual human twins to actually reach that goal. First of all, I would say that it is extremely important to have these sort of events dedicated to virtual humans, so that we can create a community that is in closer contact, that exchanges on the challenges. Because one thing is to develop science in your own corner, if I may say. The other one is to reach the market and to make sure that you have an impact. Impact is very much linked to the momentum that you can generate behind an idea, behind concepts. Summits like these ones contribute to doing this. The fact that we have people from industry, from academia, from medical bodies, and from government bodies means that you create a platform around virtual humans where you can discuss virtual humans. I think that is very important. The second aspect is that, these are still early days. And you see that harmonization is also very important. So a key takeaway from this summit is sometimes we still see the world differently, but getting together more often, hopefully these differences will also flatten. Events like this are important because they can change the world.